Hello everyone. Today's topic of discussion is performance and potential appraisal. Performance appraisal is a part of performance management system. Performance evaluation or appraisal is a process of deciding how employees do their job. Performance refers to the degree of accomplishment of the task that makes up an individual's job. It indicates how well an individual is fulfilling the job requirement. It should not be confused with the efforts, which means energy expended and used in a wrong sense. Performance is always measured in terms of results. For example, a student puts lots of efforts to prepare for exam but manages to get poor grade. So here, efforts expended is high but performance is low. Also, we need to understand that evaluation is different from judgment. The former being concerned with the performance, the later is with the person. Evaluation is concerned with the achievement of goals, whereas judgment compartmentalize people into first class citizens, second class citizens, and hence being resisted. So let's understand the concept of performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is a method of evaluating the behavior of employees in the work spot, normally including both the quantitative and qualitative aspects of job performance. There are some features of performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is a systematic process. It involves 3 steps, and these steps are assessing employees' actual performance relative to the standards, offering feedback to the employees, and setting work standards. Uh, its efforts are to improve the personnel's overall development and understand the deficiencies which are there. The second is the appraisal is carried out periodically according to a definite plan. It is certainly not a one-shot deal. It's a continuous process, and in the lot, takes lots of efforts. Performance appraisal is not a past-oriented activity with the intention of putting poor performance in a spot. Rather, it is a future-oriented activity showing employees where things have gone wrong, how to set everything in order and deliver results using their potential in a proper way. Performance appraisal, the fourth point, the performance appraisal is not job evaluation. It refers to how well someone is doing an assigned job. Job evaluation, on the other hand, determines how much a job is worth to the organization and therefore what range of pay should be assigned to the job. The fifth point, which says that performance appraisal is not limited to calling the fouls. Yes, it is focused on the employee's development. It forces the manager to become coaches rather than the judges. The sixth point, which says that performance appraisal may be formal or informal. The informal evaluation is more likely to be subjective and influenced by the personal factors. Some employees are liked better than the others and have, for that reason only, better chances of receiving the rewards, the kind of rewards than the others. Whereas the formal system is likely to be more fair and objective since it is carried out in a systematic manner using printed appraisal forms. The objectives of performance appraisal, the evaluation is mainly of 2 types, that is telling the employee where he or she stands, and using the data for personal decisions concerning pay, promotions, etc. The development objectives and focus on finding individual and organizations' strengths and weaknesses, developing healthy superior subordinate relationship, and offering appropriate counseling, coaching to the employees with a view of develop his potential in future. Appraisal of employees serves several useful purposes. Number one, which is mentioned on the slide, is compensation decision. It can serve as a basis for pay raises. Manager needs performance appraisal to identify employees who are performing at or above expected levels. Then it can be helpful in promotion decisions. It can serve as a useful basis for job change or promotion. When merit is doing the best job, receives the promotion. When merit is the basis of for the reward and the person is doing the best job, receives the promotion instead of seniority. Then the other point is training and development program. It serves as a guide for formulating a suitable training and development program. It helps employees understand their gap areas where they need the training. The fourth is feedback. It enables the employees to know how well he or she is doing his or her job. Personal development is another objective of performance appraisal. In discussion with the individual employees, a line manager can find out why they perform as they do and what steps can be initiated to improve their performance. Uh, then it's very important to understand what do we evaluate. The three most popular sets of criteria uh, are individual task outcomes, behavior, and traits. Individual task outcomes focuses on in this the focus is on the result of the work behavior. Example, how many cars an employee sold, how much profit the employees brought into organization during the month. Behavior exhibited by employees while executing the jobs. For example, salesperson should greet the customers as they enter the store, help them find what they are looking for, take their payments promptly, and then thank them for their business. Traits are here the focus is on the personal characteristics of the employees, such as their ability to arrive at decisions, loyalty to company, communication skills, or level of initiative shown, etc. Who will evaluate? A very important question. Who should evaluate? The appraiser should have a thorough knowledge about the job content. The contents to be appraised, he should be well aware. The standards of contents and who observes the employee while performing the job. All these people can do the appraisal. Appraiser should be capable of determining what is more important and what is relatively less important in a particular job. He should prepare reports and make judgment without the bias. Typical appraisals can be the supervisors, the peers, the subordinates. Self-appraisal can be done, consultants, customers. Taking supervisor first, it includes the the superiors of the employees, other superiors of having knowledge about that particular work of the employee, and the department heads or the managers. General practice is that the immediate supervisor uh, appraise the performance, which is then reviewed by the department heads or the manager. On the negative side, we see the immediate supervisor may emphasize certain aspects of the employee performance to neglect the neglect the others. Also, they have been known to manipulate evaluation to justify their decision on the pay increases and the promotions. So that is why there can be the person have to be should not be biased while doing the appraisal. Second is peers. Peer appraisal may be reliable if the work group is stable over a reasonable long period of time and perform tasks that require the interaction. On the negative side, if we see the employees were to be evaluated by their peers, then the whole exercise should degenerate into a popularity contest that who is more famous will be given more ratings, how good your relationships are there with your peers. Subordinates concept is used in most of the organizations. For example, students evaluate a professor's performance in the classroom. Self-appraisal, if the individual understands the objectives they are expected to achieve and the standards by which they are to be evaluated, they are to a great extent in the best position to appraise their own performance. Consultants. Sometimes consultant may be engaged for appraisal when employees or employer do not trust the supervisory appraisal and the management does not trust the self appraisal or peer appraisal or subordinate appraisal. So they approach outside and they hire a consultant, experienced consultant. Customers, internal or external customers are also used as a source of performance appraisal information. External customers, for example, appraising restaurant employees. Internal customers can be anyone inside the organization who depends on the which depends upon the employee's work output. Sorry, who depends on the employee's work output. Internal customers. In view of the limitations associated with each and every method discussed, and several organizations follow a multi-rating system of appraisal, which is also known as the 360-degree assessment. Let's move on and understand the performance appraisal process. Performance appraisal is planned, developed, and implemented through a series of steps. First is establishing the performance standard. It serves as a benchmark against which performance is measured. Standard should relate to the desired results of each job. Performance standard must be clear to both the appraiser and the appraisee. It's very important. It should be developed after thorough analysis of job. Goals must be written down. They must be measurable within certain time and cost considerations. Example, the for example, the sales of LED television sets in Lucknow must increase by 1,000 per month in the next 6 months, and the budget towards promotional expenses should be rupees 5,000 per month. Second is communicate the standard. You have developed the performance standards. Now it's again very important that you communicate it to the parties. So performance appraisal involve two parties, the appraiser and the appraisee. Appraiser should prepare the job descriptions very clearly, help the appraisee set his goals and targets, analyze the result objectively, offer coaching to them and guidance uh, wherever required, whenever required, and reward good results. On the other side, the appraisee should be very clear about what he is doing and why he is doing it. For this purpose, performance standard must be communicated to the appraisee and their reaction should be noted down right away. If there is a need to modify or change or revise the standards, it can be done. The third is measure actual performance. Performance measures to be helpful must be easy to use, reliable, should be reliable and report on the critical behaviors that determine performance. For common sources can be personal observation, statistical reports, oral reports, and the written reports. Performance measure may be objective or subjective. Objective measures are the indications of the job performance that can be verified by others and are usually quantitative. The criteria for this include the quality of production, degree of training needed, accidents in the given period, absenteeism, length of service, etc. If we talk about the subjective performance measures, rating based on the personal standards or opinion of those doing the evaluation and are not verifiable by others. Subjective criteria include ratings by superior overall goals, social cultural values of the environment, etc. Objective criteria can be laid down while evaluating the lower level employees, lower level jobs, which are specific and very much clear. Definitely, they are clear, defined properly, but not for the middle level management positions that are complex and vague. Fourth is compare actual performance with the standard and discuss the appraisal. Actual performance may be better than the expected, and sometimes it may go off the track. Whatever may be the consequences, there is a way to communicate and discuss the final outcomes. Taking the fifth step is taking corrective actions if necessary. Corrective actions can be of two types. One is put out the fire immediately, or while the other destroy the root of the problems immediately. Immediate actions set things right and get things back on the track, whereas basic corrective actions get to the source of the deviation and seeks to adjust the difference permanently. So we will stop here and we will continue with the performance appraisal method in the next lecture.